Hey y'all, happy Friday. How are you? Welcome to Scared of Beautiful. Shouts out to all of my supporters, my beauties and bows. I'm so happy to be here with you all on this beautiful Friday afternoon. It's been a long week, right? It has been a long week for me. I don't know if it's been a long week for you, but if it has, today's the day. Thank God it's Friday. Time to get you some wine, honey, a daiquiri, a little liquor if you like it. My favorite, tequila, rum, whatever you like. Whatever you need to unwind. If you don't drink, that's cool too. Do what you need as long as it's not hurting anyone else. And I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you engage in some self-care and take care of you. Let me see. Pretty Miss G, Cecilia. Hey, Cecilia. Happy Friday. Pretty Miss G. Yes, TGIF. Glam Fashion by Ash. Come on, Ash. Hey, Plez. Hey, girl. Lady C. Red says, hey, Plez. Hi, beauties and bows. Hi to everyone. The international perspective, maturity not included. Hey, y'all. Hey, Plez. I am so happy to be here with you all tonight. St. Hudson says, hello. Brown Skin Beauty says, hey, Plez. Good evening. Francois says, Tasha says, hey, girl. Hey. I miss Francois. Stuff is going kind of fast. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Thank you all for being here with me. So let me get into it. You all, I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat, but y'all know when I get to talking, sometimes I miss something. So if I miss something, please forgive me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Thank you to all of my moderators who are here tonight. They're going to make sure that the comments and everything go. They will thank you all for your super chats in case I miss it. Because sometimes it goes by so fast and I can't catch it. But yeah, Silver Diamond says, hey, Pleasant family. Hey, girl. So, y'all, you saw the name of the show. If you didn't see it, this show is titled Make Social Media. Don't let social media make you. Before I get started with the topic, just got to lay the ground rules quickly. Our first rule is that we are here to engage in discourse. We are adults. We can agree to disagree, so no disparaging or disrespectful comments will be allowed. Those things will be deleted if necessary. The second rule is no face, no place on my platform. That means if you want to call in, give your 2 cents, you're free to do so. I love engaging with you all and hearing your feedback, but you have to show your face. Your camera has to be on, just like I show mine. You have to show your face here too. We love you. You're beautiful, and we want to see you, beauties and bows. We want to see you in all of your glory. So, make social media. Don't let social media make you. What is this about? Well, social media is all around us. It's something that we cannot avoid in this day and age, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, if people still do that. LinkedIn is even considered a social media network, which is interesting to me. I don't really consider it that way, but it is a social media network of professionals who, you can get your next bag over on social media, over on LinkedIn sometimes. So social media is what you make it. A lot of times I think social media gets a bad rap, and that is because of what we make it. Michael Jackson always said, the man in the mirror. Basically, you have to make society look like what you want it to look like. And if you are unhappy with what it looks like, then it is on you to change it. Don't just complain. Be a part of the change you want to see. So, y'all know I love the 90s. I'm Black. I love the culture. I love trivia. I am a music, movie, Black culture, nerd, geek, whatever you want to call it. So, of course, if you looked at the title, you probably know that the title is a play on none other than the whole quote of the 90s, the diamond whole quote of the 90s, make that money, girl. Don't let that money make you. And that goes for anything in life, y'all. Whether that's your career, social media, your relationship or marriage, anything you do in life, you bring something to the table. Don't let it infiltrate you. One thing that always kind of irks me about society, I'll just give my example, is, for example, my profession. For those of you who've been here before, you know I'm an attorney. And there's a lot of pressure and stigma and labels and, heavy is the head that wears the crown. There's a lot of stuff that comes with that title. I'm not particularly fond of the stuff, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But it's on me to break out of that box, to break out of that mold. And that is why I demand and I let people know I am a whole person. Yes, I am an attorney. It is what I do. It is not who I am, right? Some of you all are wives and husbands. It's a part of you, but it's not who you are. And the danger that comes with these things, we put so much stock into our titles, into our labels, that if something happens to those things, and we no longer identify as that, then we're lost. We no longer know who we are. If you're a doctor and God forbid you lose your job tomorrow, you're still you. You still are a great person. You still are talented. You still have so much to offer the world beyond being a doctor, right? So in all things, whether it's, for example, sorority life, this world is crazy right now. Everything that's going on with this panini press that we're in, right? And where I live, the Delta is running rampant. And some of you all know that I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But this is one time in life where I'm tired of hearing the name Delta. I'm tired of it. I'm good. Like, I don't want to hear that name right now because of what it is also associated with. But I have no shame, of course, regarding my sorority. But let's say you were that type of person and you didn't understand that that name is used for many other things because it's part of the Greek alphabet, right? You would be like, oh my God, Delta, 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 Delta. And people make jokes. Last year, there was a hurricane that came through my state that it's just like, I need Delta to take her butt on somewhere. So with everything that's going on in the world, y'all, we need to preserve our peace. We need to preserve our joy. We need to make these negatives into positives. And that is what this video is about. You make your social media. You do not let social media make you. Social media is meant to influence you. You have these algorithms, you have these cookies, you have these targeted ads that follow you all over the internet. And they are trying to manipulate your perception. Is it avoidable? I think it is. I think you can train things, and more importantly, you can keep it under wraps by what you allow yourself to process. One big theory in psychology, especially for children, is nature versus nurture, right? Which one makes us who we are? Nature, your genetics, how you were born, the bloodline that you come from, or is it nurture? Is it the things you surround yourself with, the environment you grow up in. Can you be a genius in a horrible, maybe crime-ridden or impoverished environment and still thrive? We clearly know that that's possible. We clearly have plenty of examples of roses that grow from concrete, of people who quote unquote beat statistics and make it out. And I think that that's possible for all of us. It's not as simple as like pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps. Politicians try to make it too simple, but it is possible if you're given the right tools. So you have to learn how to view things in life as what it is. Money is a tool. Social media is a tool. And because it's so prevalent, we have these wonderful smartphones that we keep in our hands. I left my phone at home last week and I literally felt like my hand was missing. I had to go home on my lunch break and get my phone because, yes, I was like, oh my God, what if somebody calls me? But we have to make sure that we are in control of our devices and that our devices are not in control of us. I see a super chat. I couldn't get to it, but thank you so much, Sandy Harrison. I would like to call your channel Pleasantville. So glad you are back. Thank you so much, sis. It's just a tool, guys. It is really a tool. So it all boils down to how you use the tools. How do you nurture your environment? I did a little research and just looked up some things of negative impacts of social media, right? Some negative impacts of social media, it can be addictive. That means you're on it 24/7. You got to check your notifications. You're checking your likes and your comments. It can lead to sadness and depression because you're doing some of these things at the bottom. It encourages comparison, which we all know. If you don't know, I'm here to tell you comparison is the thief of joy. And why does it encourage comparison? Well, the reality is most people only put their highlight reel on social media. They don't show you the good, the bad, the ugly. They show you the good. They don't show the bad and ugly. They want to curate these pictures of perfection. And, that's what all the filters are for. That's what all the angles are for. And the way you know your angles. I love that song. Sorry. But, yeah, it encourages us to look over at our neighbors and say, neighbor, now why does neighbor have all of these wonderful things and I don't? Me and neighbor started our business at the same time together, and neighbor is, according to social media, a millionaire. And I'm still over here trying to get my marketing together, right? That can in turn lead to a vicious cycle of jealousy where you're in constant competition with other people. It can create a false sense of acceptance in a social life. So you have so many friends on Facebook or on Instagram that you feel like you're popular, but actually you don't know those people. You just accept any and everybody who sends you a friend request. And it can create a need for external validation. And we know that the research is there. It's one of the reasons Instagram and other places have really limited what you can see in terms of likes and the other little things that we look for as engagements on social media, because it was really feeding people in their mentality and really starting to cause a lot of anxiety and depression. And a lot of the studies that I read focused on teenagers, but this also affects adults very much so. There was a story around a husband a few years ago in New York who literally was about to divorce his newlywed wife because she was so busy on the honeymoon curating pictures of the resort and of their meals and not actually spending time with him. So the fallacy of social media is that we think this is what the real world is like, and it robs us of our time with our families, with our real friends. We don't know how to get involved with those things anymore because we're so obsessed with this illusion of perfection, right? So how do you combat those negative impacts of social media? Let me look on and see what you all are saying. Pandy's hair, candy, and more. It can certainly be overwhelming at times, but a good break is always appreciated. Absolutely. Tina Davis says, I'm not arguing and fighting. Turns me off sometimes, so I try to look at different content. Absolutely. The interracial perspective, maturity not included, says exactly. I still don't understand those who are on 24/7. I don't either at all. DGF 627 says, hey girl, hey girl. Allison Labadie says, I definitely take breaks from Facebook and Instagram. Absolutely. And I know I personally use Facebook to keep up with my real life friends and family. Instagram is more where I follow because it used to mainly just be for pictures. So that is where I would curate some of the things that I want to see in my life, almost like a digital vision board of sorts, and really insulate what I'm allowing into my space and my mind. Pretty Mrs. G says, I turn off my alerts. Absolutely. And the Queen of Cheesecake says, I learned how to just turn off my phone. Whew, I think I'll get there one day. I'm not there yet. So how do we make this change? Well, so I've told y'all before, I'll tell you again if you're new here, I'm a nerd. I am. I've accepted it. If there was a Nerds Anonymous, I could now proudly stand up and say, hi, I'm Plez. I'm a nerd. I used to not want to embrace that title, but it is what it is. And in being a nerd, I like acronyms. Yes, it is a way that I studied in school. It is an easy way to learn what things mean or memorize what things mean. So you all will get to know me on this channel and you will see lots of acronyms. So in the title, I'm sure you saw the M.A.K.E with the P's behind it. That's an acronym. And it says, make social media. Don't let social media make you. So M is for manage. Manage means you have control over what is going into your brain. So just like some of the comments just said, manage the amount of time that you're actually on social media. I think it's on Android. I haven't found it yet on my Android, but I know on iPhone, they have like timers that you can set up for screen time that you can say, hey, I'm only going to spend an hour on Facebook today. And that means y'all think, I don't spend a whole hour on Facebook, but you'll really be surprised when you go on and check your notifications and you're getting notifications from something you commented on. And then you turn that into scrolling on your lunch break. Like the time really does start to add up. So manage the time that you're actually on social media. In addition to the time, manage the information that you see on your social media. It's easy to blame celebrities or the internet or Mark Zuckerberg and whoever else owns these platforms and say, they shouldn't show this, they shouldn't show that. No. Use your block button. Use your restrict button. I have some friends and family on Facebook, although I love them dearly. I have had to mute them a few times. You mute the person for 30 days. It's a wonderful thing. Just kind of put them on timeout for a season because you don't want to see. Some people are negative Nancy's. Some people are toxic AF and they will bring you down. I am on all of the Kendrick Lamar sides of Trick Don't Kill My Vibe. And that was a nice way to say it. So if it's killing my vibe, it has to go. I don't necessarily, sometimes if it's someone that I actually like and care about, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And the good things about the mute buttons, the restrict buttons, you don't unfriend the person. You just don't see their foolishness anymore. So use your tools, friends. Use your tools. Align. A is for align. When you align something, you literally bring it into an align, but you bring it into an agreement with what you want in your life. So curate your timelines, friends. Align your timelines with things that you want to see, things that actually bring you joy, things that encourage you, things that motivate you. I personally, particularly for my Instagram, I sat back and said, what do I want to see? What motivates me? What will make this a happy space for me? And I sought out to follow people, groups, businesses, just social media influencers that fed that need. So, for example, positive self-talk, affirmations, positive thinking. I started to look for pages that gave that every day. Progressive thinkers, people who are thought-provoking. I know my girl Amanda Seals is very controversial sometimes in these streets. I know Tamika Mallory is, but those were people for me who were thought-provoking, who made me think about things from a different perspective. So whoever those are for you, I'm not here to debate who anybody likes because everybody likes who they like. But think about those things for you. Make it tailored for you, not Plez, not your mama, not your daddy, not your kids, you. One journey that I've been vocal about that I'm on is a weight loss journey. I wanted to look at examples of people who did natural weight loss. No shade to anyone who's done any operations. I'm not saying that that's the easy way. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm not doing that though. So I need to see realistic examples of people who went on a natural weight loss journey and lost 100 plus pounds or whatever they needed to lose so that I could have somebody to quote unquote aspire to or as a good example. Another one was entrepreneurs. I'm looking at, diversifying my income, setting up multiple streams. I wanted to look at good examples of successful entrepreneurs. Now, on Instagram, you have to be discerning. You have to, take what serves you and leave the rest. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. I'm not going to tell you who to support. But for me, I don't really give a lot of money out to social media people because, as I said, it's easy to create an illusion online. So I'm not out here buying a bunch of courses and seminars, but if they throw out a free tidbit in their comment, if they give a good source and I want to go research it, I use those things. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a person, I just tell you, make sure you vet anyone before you invest your money with them. A lot of these courses, y'all, honestly, you can Google and find enough information on your own. But if you like it packaged in a bow, cool. I'm just telling you what I do. So yes, align your space, curate your space. Make what you see on your timeline fit, come into an agreement with where you see either yourself or your future self, right? The next word part of the acronym is K. K is for knit. And a lot of people are like, knit? You're going to be knitting something? Well, another definition or use of the word knit is unite, to create unity. So As you can tell by me referencing this, as I said before, I try to be a well-rounded person. So my Instagram is not all, positive thinking, weight loss, whatever. I have a little shade room in there. I'm following Michelle Obama. I follow good old Beyonce. Who else do I follow? Oh, y'all, it's this actor named Yaya, so handsome. M.A.K.E. Brooks. Look, and that's a different level of alignment because I like beautiful black men, preferably bald-headed ones. So don't just make it all serious, whatever you enjoy, unify those things. I like a little celebrity gossip, which is why the shade room is there. I like looking at handsome black men. I like a little political commentary with Angela Rye. Things like that. So unite all of the things that make you happy and curate your space. So make your social media work for you means manage, align, and knit your environment. Nurture the things that you want to see and gain in this life and make social media work for you. Don't let social media make you, right? Don't get so involved. And I know it's hard for some of you all who may be aspiring influencers or who may be brand ambassadors or who may want to be entrepreneurs and grow social media brands. You have to have the balance. One thing that I did when I created my, oh wait, hold on. See, my girl Popcorn always knows. Yaya Abdul Mateen. Yes, that's him. That is him. That's absolutely him. Pandy said Candy and Morris says, ain't nothing wrong with that. LOL. Kat says, I'm not even on the gram or Facebook. Oh man. I wouldn't say, well, you have to do what's best for you. I like it. I'm not on it all of the time. And what I was about to say was, when I started my channel and when I decided to really embark on this Scared of Beautiful thing, one thing is that I kept my personal social media as well. And I flip. I may go on to my branded social media and post something, but I kept my core following and people that I look up to on my personal social media for a reason, so that I could have my escape and my getaway, because you need that me time. I'm not really this movement that everybody is about. Monetize everything, monetize every hobby. Y'all, everything isn't about money. And even though you can make a bag out of almost everything, do you really want to? Because then it becomes a job. I have one of those. I'm not really fond of a lot of them. The thing about multiple streams of income and all of these things that people tell you about, you ain't supposed to have to work it. If you have to work it, it's not really working. I mean, you might work it in the beginning to get it up and running, but passive income means just that, passive. So you have to do what's best for you, but I'm not a fan of monetizing every little thing a person does, because it leads to burnout. It leads to depression. It leads to being overworked, So do what you have to do, but protect your peace, protect your joy, and leave some things just for you, not for the world. All right. So that's the main part of the message. Manage, align, and knit your environments. Now, in the sharing or enlightening phase, I want to share with you all a few pages, about 10 pages that I follow that really inspire me and resonate with me. I'm going to let y'all know now. Some of them, I did half and half. I did 5 just kind of general things, and then 5 Christian-based pages. I know some of my followers are not Christians. I am. And just as a quick, I don't know if this is a disclaimer or whatever. Again, if you all are in here or if you watch the playback, I don't get into the politics or rumors of people, the individuals. I'm simply showing you people who post things that help me. And with all things, whether that's in Christianity or in regular life, you have to take what you can use and leave the rest. I'm not going through anybody's background and who had a salacious divorce and who might be stealing money. Yeah, well, I try to stay away from those type of people if it comes up and I see it, but I actually don't go seek it out. Because ultimately, especially where Christianity is concerned, you follow God. You don't follow people. You don't follow me. You don't follow TD Jakes. You don't follow what's old boy in Houston, Joel Osteen. You follow God. And if a person's message resonates with you, that could be God's way of sending you that message. On a similar tip, some of the things that I'll show in my general IG followings might be some things that traditional Christians may say are not of God. Some source-based things, some universe-based things, some things that traditional Christians like to say are against Christianity. But as I've said before, I'm not necessarily your traditional Christian. My personal belief is that if you believe in God and you believe God made all things, then he made all things. If he made rocks and crystals, he made them. Most people I know who use crystals and rocks and things in their healing and in their wellness routines don't worship the rock. They don't worship the crystal. These are tools. God knows his children, and some of us need more physical help than others. Some of us need more confirmation than others. That's why it says if you have just a mustard seed of faith, you please God. Everybody's faith isn't this big, you know? Some people have the itty bitty, and some people grow in their faith. But never let anyone tell you what's not for you. And one day I'll get into a video of like some things that I find that are interesting in the church. One example I'll just give is, let's say, the ritual of crystals or a rock or whatever. I was raised and went to a lot of Catholic schools growing up. I'm not Catholic, I'm Baptist. But when I was at that Catholic school, they didn't care that I was Baptist. I had to learn how to pray the rosary. So if I hold a rosary, which is made of beads, and I pray on the rosary, and that's acceptable to God, why is someone holding an amethyst stone not acceptable to God and praying? Why? It's these little nuances and it's these little differences that I feel people create that separate us that shouldn't, that really aren't that big in the grand scheme of things, right? So anyway, that's my spiel before I get into these pages. I'm telling y'all now, I'm not going back and forth in the comments. This is a place of positivity, love, and light. And it's just stuff that helps me. I'm sharing it with you in the hopes that it can help you curate your space. And y'all feel free to share pages that help you, that resonate with you. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Tina Davis says, I have to have some Christianity in my life because other words, it becomes too much. I try to balance it out. Absolutely. Sandy Richardson says, you better tell it, Plez. Rayita says, preach 100%. Vanessa Berry says, Tabitha Brown is very inspirational. She absolutely is. All right, y'all. So this is the first kind of general set. The first one is this page called Source Messages. I love them because every day when I'm scrolling my timeline, I can expect to see a new message. And almost inevitably, whatever they write tends to resonate with me. So today's source message is, if you take care of and allow a plant to grow, it'll eventually need a new pot. Its roots start, let me go back. Sorry, y'all. Its roots start seeping through the bottom. Its leaves begin hanging over. It literally outgrows its space to the point where it's uncomfortable. You're outgrowing your pot too. If people need to make their way out, if the environment changes a bit, flow with it. Allow it. Your roots need new space with which to extend into all the things you've been asking for. Give yourself the benefit, give yourself the benefit of an expansively new environment. The things you love most won't get left behind. So that's one example. I can tell you now that resonates with me. Whenever you're trying to grow, whenever you're trying to move, I think almost everybody experiences a little bit of fear. You become a little bit uncomfortable because it's something new. But when you feel that feeling, when you don't belong somewhere anymore. When you've outgrown that space. And in my experience throughout my 38 years of living, if you don't adhere to those initial tugs and pulls, you're only going to get more and more and more and more uncomfortable. So flow is something that I'm working on. Surrender is something that I'm working on. Being able to allow things to come and go in your life and let go of that need to control is something that I'm working on. So this page always has great messages. Like I said, every day it's something different. But of course, it's called source message. So sometimes people are like, oh my God, whatever source is to you. Source, the universe, God, Jehovah, Allah, whatever. Quit focusing so much on one thing and make it work for you. All right. So that's source messages. The next page that I love is, okay, now it doesn't want to come up, is moon omens. Same thing with moon omens, y'all. Moon omens gives different kind of motivational things every day, but there's usually one that's dated specifically for that day. So today it says, may your manifestations speed up. May you gain momentum and energy. May you see your vision become real. May today be the day you receive a sign that reminds you that everything is okay and that you're on the right track. For me, that's a great message. Just again, this little piece of confirmation that you're going ahead, onward and upward. The way you're going is the way you need to go. All things are working for your good. They also do a lot of stuff based around like your, astrological sign and stuff like that. But if you don't like that kind of stuff, just filter that out. Just concentrate on the messages that do resonate with you. I put these all together because it was too many and it was going to fill up my backstage. So forgive me for the delay. The next one is called At the Positive Minds. And they do quotes, inspirational quotes throughout the day. One that came on my timeline that I liked a lot was this one. And it says, I found myself smiling more lately. Lord, whatever you're doing for me, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Smile. It's a lot going on in this world. It's a lot of hurt, hurting people. There's a lot of death, unfortunately. There is a lot of poverty. And if you wake up every day with a new chance and a new lease on life, find something, y'all, to smile about for that day. Even if it's just my favorite thing, which is turning on some music and, having a dance party by yourself. Commanding Life is another great one that does daily messages, reminders for life for today. Give yourself the time you need to adjust to the loss. Show yourself compassion by resting, not quitting. Allow yourself room to make mistakes because you are constantly learning. Encourage yourself by celebrating the progress you are making. Keep supporting your dreams by showing up despite the occasional doubt. Never forget to enjoy your wins. You are doing a great job. Keep going. So I know sometimes, when we talk about like love languages, some people's love languages are words of affirmation. Maybe you're single. Maybe you don't have a lot of family. Maybe you don't have somebody around who can literally speak life into you. I hope you curate that tribe for yourself if you can. But if you can't, use social media for that. There are plenty of things that, this is telling you progress, not perfection. It's okay if you need to slow down. It's okay if you take a L sometime. You are going to get back up. You're going to have another chance. Keep going. I love this page. And again, I just scroll through all of this, type yes to affirm and all of this. So, that's on you. I don't really do that all of the time, but it's just good things to keep around you and to help cultivate your space. Waiting on the next one. Sorry, y'all. But yes, that's at Commanding Life. So this is another one that I absolutely love. Dear Dope Chick. I think this is a Black girl who owns this one. Dear Dope Chick, you've been receiving so many confirmations lately. Don't look the other way, sis. Use this time to... That's so weird. Sorry, y'all. That's the fifth one with the slowest amount of time. Use this time to make moves. Flow. The universe is shifting in your favor. It is preparing a way for you that isn't shaped with resistance, only ease. Lean into it. So if you can tell, these were just messages from today. So one of my previous messages said something else about flow. That's synchronicity. That's alignment. That's whatever I might be thinking that's on my heart that I want to do. For me, I interpret that as God's way of encouraging me and showing me, hey, you're on the right track. Keep moving. No, it's not going to be easy. No, you're not going to win all the time. No, everyone isn't going to like it. But keep going. There is a shift coming. There are things and people and angels and ancestors and guardians and all of these things working on your behalf. So keep going. Lean into it, even when it gets hard. That was the main ones that I wanted to show you all, the 5 general ones. So that is source messages, moon omens, the positive minds, commanding life, and Dear Dope Chick. These are pages that I absolutely love. Dita Forever says the good part of L's is the lesson learned. Absolutely. Francois says, I love this live. Thank you, Francois. Pandy says, I like that name. I like it too, girl. I like it too. KD says, you give wonderful advice. Have you ever considered Plez sessions to answer guest questions or scenarios? I have not, but put some ones in the chat if you all like that idea. And I may do a Q&A, or I'll ask for some questions on my Instagram and let you all give it. Candy R says that is a really cool name. I do too. I love it. Every time it comes across my timeline, I just love seeing it. Dear Dope Chick. They have merch and everything, y'all. It's a really, okay, it's a lot of ones in here. I see y'all. Okay. I will definitely consider that. Well, I guess, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. And I guess that's where I could collect the questions. And I'll try to do that for you all maybe once or twice a month. I'll carve out, since I do Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I may try to carve out another day earlier in the week to have those sessions, or mix up the schedule. I don't know, but sure, I can do that for you all. Now, I'm not a professional in terms of, I have a psychology degree. I'm not a practicing psychologist. So I'm going to have to put some disclaimers out there, y'all. This is just my opinion. If you ask me for advice, it is going to be homegirl advice. Don't be trying to come back and sue me. Okay. No legal advice. That's the thing I will draw the line on, because I am licensed in 2 states, but I will not be on the internet giving specific legal advice. General legal knowledge sometimes, but no legal advice. All right. So the last section I'm going to do is the more Christian based Instagram pages, some of them that I follow. And after that, I will be opening up the chat for anyone who wants to come in. You can talk about anything related to this topic, anything that you've experienced with social media, or how you make the social media work for you. And you can also share pages that you all follow or things that you do to curate your social media life. I'll drop it now. I don't really, Kat L says Twitter. I don't do Twitter, sis. I've been on Facebook since it started. Like, I remember, y'all, you had to have a college email address to get on Facebook. I remember when Mark Zuckerberg back in 2004 opened Facebook to my college that I went to. So that's how long I've been on Facebook. I've been on Instagram since probably 2011, I want to say, maybe 2012. I had a Twitter long ago. I've never liked the format. As y'all can kind of tell, I'm a verbose person. I like to talk. I mean, I'm a lawyer. It is what it is. That 140 characters that Twitter gave was never enough. Never enough for me. So I've never liked Twitter's format. Every now and again, I scoot on over to Twitter to see what Black Twitter is talking about. Anytime somebody on Facebook tells me that Black Twitter is going off about something, I go over there to be nosy. But nah, I'm not on Twitter like that. Okay, so did I drop it? I don't know if I put the link. Let me put this link right quick. And then I'm going to go through these last few pages, and that'll be it, y'all. So one page that I really like is called Real Talk Kim. This lady is named Kimberly Jones. She is a pastor. Her church is somewhere in Georgia, around Atlanta, I think. Her church is called the Limitless Church. But she's a white lady, y'all. And one thing I love about Real Talk Kim is just her personal sense of style. She is a pastor, but she wears the coolest, funkiest, like eyeglass frames. She's always very stylishly dressed. She goes against everything that people tell you evangelists or preachers should look like. And I am a fan of people being themselves regardless of their quote unquote titles. One thing that people always like to say about me since I've been on the internet is about my lipstick and being an attorney. I have been wearing colorful lipsticks since I started wearing makeup, when I got out of law school in 2009. When I go to court, I'm definitely in a nice suit. You just need a pop of color, honey. You got to bring some spice to the arena. Can't be all dull and boring. Who wants to be in pearls and suits and stockings all the time, honey? You have to be you. And it has never held me back in my profession. Okay. So do what you want to do within reason. But there are plenty of people in all types of positions, corporate positions, the C-suite, who have curated their own personal sense of style. So anyway, that's just an aside, but I really like Real Talk Kim. Again, y'all, I don't care about anybody's, it's not that I don't care about their background. I don't go to her church. I don't watch her church. I'm just speaking about what she posts on Instagram that I find to be inspirational. So for me, she has a very inspirational feed. One of the things she posted recently that resonated with me was, I used to think I needed closure. Then I realized all I had to do is get up and close the door. And that really resonated with me because a lot of times people want closure. They want to put a bow on things and wrap it up. And one thing that life has taught me in a lot of different ways, from romantic relationships to otherwise, is that for me, closure is a myth. Sometimes you have to get up, dust yourself off, walk away, and never get any of the quote unquote closure that you needed. But you have the ability, you have the resource, you can cut it off without the other person coming back and apologizing, quote unquote, or explaining why they did what they did. Because the reality is you may never get that. And so what you gonna do? Sit there mad and upset or bitter the whole time? No. Closure doesn't exist. So get up and close the door your doggone self and move on. So I really like Real Talk Kim. The next one that's coming up that I really like is Stephen Furtick. He is a pastor of Elevation Worship, and I really like his sermons. I used to watch him sometimes on TBN, and since I got rid of cable, I stream his services sometimes, and sometimes I catch, because I follow him on Facebook too. So sometimes I just catch the recordings there, but he's always, for me, very inspirational. He teaches from the Bible, which I really like. He's not just like a motivational speaker. I like Joel Osteen, but a lot of times I feel like Joel Osteen is more of a motivational speaker and not a pastor. But Furtick actually uses like scriptures and things like that. One thing he recently posted that resonates with me is that sometimes God destroys your comfort so that you can fulfill your calling. A lot of times we're out here and we're cool, we're comfortable. I know I tend to get that way, particularly in my career. And sometimes he just has to come through and shake the room, honey, to get you from being stuck and out of your comfortable spaces. So I really like him and what he brings on social media and how he incorporates. I also like that he teaches. With me being from the country, especially a Baptist from the country, it's always hard for me sometimes to go back home to church, because if y'all have never been in the South, or if you have, then you know a lot of old time Southern pastors just kind of like hoop and holler, and you know the organ gets going and it's like, and I need I need to actually hear the word. More importantly, I need you to make the word applicable to everyday life. And I think Stephen Furtick does a good job of that. Right? I really do. Another person, I don't know why this is taking so long to flip the page, but we're here. The next person that I really like is Joyce Myers. She's an old school televangelist when it comes to the televangelist category. But for me, like when I talked about Joel Osteen and the differences between him and like Furtick and some other people that I'm going to show you, I've read a few of Joyce's books, and she's more along the lines for me of like a T.D. Jakes, in the sense that they're very good teachers. I've read Battlefield of the Mind and another book that I love by her that came out last year called Do It Afraid. And what I like about Joyce, sometimes I even listen to her podcast in my Bible app, is that she's for me a middle ground pastor. It's not just like prosperity preaching. It's actually teaching the word. It's also not fire and brimstone, but she's going to get you together. She did a series one time on humility and pride that got me all the way together. And I like her. You know, I don't know what's out there about her, but in terms of her teaching and how it aligns with my interpretation of the Bible and things that I've read in the Bible in my personal walk with God, I really like her. And how she teaches you that God's blessings aren't just money and things and materialism. Like sometimes his blessings are just a peace of mind. Sometimes his blessings is to have more humility than you had, more compassion than you had, healing you and bringing you out of your childhood traumas. If you know her story, you know that she was a victim of incest and molestation. And she talks about how hard it was for her husband. She was married once and divorced, and then she got remarried and had her children. So she's always given very realistic approaches to Christianity in the Bible. So I really admire that, and I like her and her teachings. I they resonate with me a lot. So Joyce Meyer is another person. And I'm not going to say it's all, let me stop this for a minute. I'm not going to say it's all perfection. Some of these people, with the exception of Stephen Furtick and maybe Real Talk Kim, I don't remember what what Real Talk Kim did last year. Stephen Furtick, I know, sat down and had a talk with John Gray of all people, but he did. Last year when everything was going on with the racial reckoning and George Floyd. So one thing I will say about Joyce Meyer, where I'm critical of her and a few others, are that I don't feel they're as outspoken as they should be when things like that happen in this country. To me, those are times when God's children should speak up for what's right, and I don't like it when they don't. However, like I said before, use what you can use and leave the rest. Stephen R. Chandler is a Black pastor. His church is called the Union Church, and I really like him. He's a young pastor. He has a gorgeous wife, beautiful little brown children, and he's really dope. He relates the word to the world that we know today. He's kind of like in my age range. So for me, it's inspirational to see somebody that age so strong in their faith and so knowledgeable. So I really like him. He posted this meme recently. It says, good news, this little script, you can barely read it. God has a purpose for you. Bad news, it may not come right now. And for me, that resonated because I'm constantly trying to figure out what my purpose is, what I'm here to do, and trying to control and manipulate and get there and have it revealed. And I don't like, being patient and walking and letting things unfold as they should. So he's really good. If y'all want to go check him out, please do. He's a great pastor as well. And then M.A.K.E. Noel is actually one of my best friends. She's from little old Natchez, Mississippi. But she is gorgeous. She has a big voice. She is a wonderful pastor and singer. And she has recently started doing, not even recently, she's been doing it for a while, especially on Facebook, a lot of prayer calls and pray with me's, and then motivational memes and things that she posts every day. So this is one that she recently posted. It says, I know that God forgives because he forgave me. He brought back vision and he also made provision. He will do the same for you. So rise up and be rejuvenated in his promises. There's no limit to his power or his word. Stand and place your faith in his hands. So this is one of my good friends. She's super dope. And whenever I'm going through things or just in general, like I said, she posts pretty regularly on Facebook and Instagram. And I always tell her, like, I admire, again, somebody in my age range that is just so strong in their faith. And that's what she is. She's a prayer warrior. She's a good friend. And it's just always good for me to see Black women who look like me, who go through the same things that I go through, but are still really strong Christians. So that is it, you all. That was the more Christian ones, and that, well, not more Christian ones. Those were definitely the Christian-based page. Some of the pages that I follow: Real Talk Kim, Stephen Furtick, Joyce Meyer, Stephen R. Chandler, and I am Kate Noel. So that is it. I'm going to post this link. I don't know if I posted it before, but if not, here's one more time, y'all. And you all can call in if you want. If not, we're going to wrap this up. We're right at an hour. Uranus says people should be focusing on personal relationships with God, not pastors. Absolutely, you should. But we also use pastors for people who don't know the word and don't know how to develop a personal relationship with them on their own yet. But absolutely, you should have your own personal relationship with God. I don't know how long you've been in here, but I definitely said that you should be reading the Bible for your own, as it says, studying the Bible yourself, not just counting on someone else's interpretation of it. That is the way people get manipulated. So definitely know about it on your own. Tina Davis says, when I go to church, I want to be a good teacher. I think we are there to learn about the Bible, and also you have to read it yourself. You just can't believe everything somebody tells you. Absolutely. Dita says pin it. I don't know how to pin it, but let's see. Tina Davis again says, I don't like that prosperity. You need to pay tithes and buy me a jet. Then if you need a tire in your car because you can't afford it, they don't want to help you. Absolutely. That's again about finding churches that work for you. My church that I went to in New Orleans was very big on work in the community. They held clothing drives, food drives, and they had a pantry in a food, where you could come by every month. They would open up the back of the church to let people come in and buy food, to let people come in and get clothes. They also had, if you couldn't afford to pay like your utilities, you had to go through financial counseling. So you hopefully wouldn't go through that again. But they had all of that. And it's hard for me since I've left New Orleans to find other places to affiliate because I haven't found a church that's so service-based like that. Thick Girl 40, you're ready to turn your camera on, sis?
One
Hey,
second.
How are you?
Hey, that go with more of noise. I really
Hey, you at work?
say, hey,
You at work? Your signal kind of going out. You're frozen. I'm gonna remove you. Call back in. Hey, sis. How are you today?
Finding you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I like the saying that basically instead of seeking closure, you close the door yourself.
Yes.
Uh,
Slam it if necessary.
It's like light it up, girl, light it up.
Hold up.
But
thank you so much, Interracial Perspective. You have a great weekend as well. Thank y'all for the super chat. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good. The thing is, when you don't free yourself, basically, that's what it is. It's freeing yourself. You're allowing that other person to have control over you. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can't move on until I have closure. That means your heart is still stuck to that person. Your heart, your soul, whatever and how much you gave to them is still stuck to that person because you don't have the strength to close the door yourself and be done with it. And as far as the pastors, I used to go with Joel Osteen and stuff like that, but it was more inspiration than Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does his part, and it just wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
But people put too much stock in these pastors and preachers and stuff like that instead of doing the homework themselves. They're there to guide you, but don't forget that they're still mortal. We're all mortals. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so they're going to make mistakes and stuff like that. You can't put them on a pedestal just because they came at you with the word and stuff like that. And then you have to vet the pastors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like dating. Is this person really about God, or is he about money?
Absolutely.
My cousins, their grandfather, who treated me like another granddaughter,
Mm-hmm.
he was a pastor, and the money that was given to him, you know, how they have the church fund.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our church fund was real. Unfortunately, he passed before he ever saw it finished,
Mm-hmm.
but he did do the work. He was honest, and he was one of the few, what I'm saying, that you could trust and go to for advice and everything. What I'm saying, he was so loving, so honest, and it's sad to say that they're rare these days. It's so hard to find a good church.
Absolutely. It
Mm-hmm.
is. It is. I can honestly say, like, I haven't really affiliated since I left New Orleans because that also COVID, but that church was so, the pastor, he was instrumental in bringing the city back after Katrina, and like for the 10th year anniversary of Katrina in 2015, at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, the Saints presented so many people who helped bring the city back after Katrina with Mercedes-Benz, like with cars. And that man
Mm-hmm.
stood there on the 50-yard line and told them to keep the car. He would prefer a van for his church. He didn't have like pastors' anniversaries. He didn't do the whole pastor's birthday thing. And this was what most people would call a mega church. He had, a church of 8,000, 10,000 people in New Orleans. Um, Not saying he's perfect, because no one is.
But he sounds
If,
like a person I could get down with. You know what I'm saying?
if a scandal happened, honey, I would be sad. However, I would not be devastated because he is a human. But it was the way he led the church. Every month, a block party in the neighborhood for the kids,
Mm-hmm.
positive things for them to do, basketball games set up, little kind of fair games and stuff. And like I said before, the clothing drives, the food drives. We had a church gym that was like $2 that you could come in and work out on the equipment with. When I left, I'm like, I just watched them online, and I pay whatever offerings I'm gonna give there, because now seeing that level of investment in the community, it's hard for me to go back to places where I don't see that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
For when this panini kicked off, they were doing drives for PPE for New Orleans hospitals. It's just, I tell people all the time when people get into the whole tithing debate, I'm like, no, it's not just money. It's also your time. If you're giving your time, if you are volunteering,
Yep.
um, and
Yep.
even with your money, you need to be able to see where your money is going, right? But
Yeah.
that's on you. You have to do that, and you have to hold. We are the church. We hold them responsible. And so many people, like you said, they just put stock in the pastor or the other people in charge. It ain't no church if y'all walk out. I'm not
Right.
invited to walk out of their church. Thank you. But,
Right.
we got to just quit. It goes back to what the whole video is about. We have to stop complaining about things and actually being the change that we want to see and demanding the change that we want to see. And if people don't make the changes, you leave.
Yeah, you
Same
can't
thing
be
with
in the
communities.
church. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be in the church and complaining about the pastor and still going.
Yep.
Because that's what people did. Like when our pastor passed away, we got a new one, and people were complaining about him, and they're still complaining about him and still going. Now, some people did leave, but for the most part, most of them stayed, and they continued to complain. Like, I don't want that stress. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Well, I'm just continuously complaining about somebody. I don't deal with people that I got to complain about.
Yeah.
Thank you, pretty.
Yeah, it is. That's true. You know, do you have anybody that you follow on social media that you like that are not just pastors, like anything that's inspirational to you?
Besides you,
Oh.
I got like the bishop. I got Auntie does positive stuff. Sir Ism. Yeah, there's a few of them that I listen to that are positive or they're well balanced.
Yes.
You know, they're either positive or well balanced. Because I'm not with the whole bickering thing. You know, you have those channels that they thrive on that and support that, and it's like that stuff is boring to me. And I've been on panels where it gets to that, and it's like, click, I'm out. either I'm sitting there not saying nothing, not even giving it my energy, or I just leave.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but that's what it's about. Social media, everything. We have more control than we think we do. So, you know, manage everything. Manage your tools, manage your timeline, block, like I said before, use that block button, use that delete button. I refuse to understand people who follow people in things that they don't like. It's very simple. Do not follow them. In fact, block them. You know, it's very simple to kind of keep some of these things out of your worldview, because you
people are not
the world that you want to see.
Yeah, people are not putting much stock into their mental health by doing so. You know, that negativity is not. It's just not healthy for your body, mentally, physically. It's not healthy for you. And so I can't understand why people want to live in that type of world. You know what I'm saying? And when I say living in that type of world, they're watching it, they're contributing to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, they just like to complain. Some people complain so much, and some people are addicted to stress and toxicity. So although they say they don't like it, they don't want it, when that drama isn't around, they don't know what else to do. You know, peace is boring to them. Joy is boring to them. And I'll be the first to say, I like a little outside drama, which is why I still follow the Shade Room. I like to be like, okay, girl, what happened? And then I come right back on over here in my peace bubble, because I don't
you
like
said it.
Drama in my personal life. I like watching yours. So.
But you said it, a little. A little outside drama. See, a little bit, yeah, that's entertaining. But to prolong it, when it should have been dead at this point, to kill it, you didn't kill it at the short term. You just let it go. Nah.
Absolutely.
There's some things you just can't run with. Just let it go.
I agree. Well, all right, sis. Thank you for joining me on this Friday afternoon. Let me get Thick Girl 40 back up here.
Yeah, I see her type in the background, so she's ready.
All right. I'll see you next time.
All right.
Have a
See
good
you
weekend.
next time.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Hey, sis.
Y'all been in the washroom washing clothes.
Okay.
Won't give me the very end or the other one. I'm not trying to get either.
Neither. Thank you. How are you?
But yeah, I just wanted to come up and say I'm so happy to see you. You look good. You look happy.
Thank you. You do
look
too.
Well rested.
Thank you.
You look like you got your joy and peace.
Yes, ma'am. Trying to keep it.
I got so mad when that stuff started happening with Jamal Bryant, because that man on the Bible side, He knows his Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his word. But I can't follow you if you following behind the skirts and the dipping and dabbing. And I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love to hear that man preach. But I can't know that you're not out here living what you're talking about and think I'm supposed to follow you. That don't make sense.
Girl. All we can do is pray for Brother Jamal, honey. That's all we can do.
That's all
I told people back when he was still in Baltimore, and he was in the pulpit quoting Chris Brown, "These hoes ain't loyal." I was like, who is he? Come get him. Come get him.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was saying earlier, I like someone who makes the word relatable, but you also cannot
go down in the mud with the
pulpit.
word.
You can't disrespect that pulpit. He could have used that song and made it funny for the folks and said, you know, these saints ain't loyal, these deacons ain't loyal,
right.
These mothers on the motherboard ain't loyal. You could have used the song. All of the young people in the audience who knew what the song was would have laughed. Everybody else would have, talked about how good of a wordsmith you are. But you can't be saying hoes in the pulpit, sir. Especially when you allegedly are the biggest hoe yourself. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it, Jamal. So, yeah.
I grew up in church. I haven't found the church that I used to love going to church. Because I used to sing in the choir. I used to love going to church. Now I'm like, I don't want a church where you got 8,000 members. I need my pastor to know me. You know what I'm saying? I need him to pray. I might need him to lay hands on me one-on-one. I don't want to be just a number that you adapt, that you can see. I need you to be able to relate to me. I need you to be able to speak into me, speak life into me. That's what I need that. When I'm down, I need somebody to lift me up. Not going around here and the ushers know me, but the pastor ain't never heard of me before, and I've been here for 2 years. That don't make sense to me. I just can't. Maybe because I grew up in a small little church, I don't know, but all this extra stuff, I can't get with it. No.
Absolutely.
Communion takes 5 hours because you got a whole cathedral. No. Everything is a concert. Hey, baby, I can't.
Well,
I just need the word.
How else do you? Absolutely. How else do you curate your social media? Do you follow other people or pages that you think are positive?
I listen to Bishop. I listen to Sunita. She does a good thing with her channel.
Okay.
She's always trying to uplift for people. So yeah, I listen to her.
Yeah.
I mean, I go through the posts and see uplifting things. I listen like Fred Hammond. Sometimes I watch whatever he's doing. If I fall into it, I catch it. Because there's so much mess out here. Sometimes you just like, I don't even want to deal with social media at all today. I just can't do it. It's not the right time for me to be indulging in that.
Yeah, I understand.
My thing, I always tell people, look, people like, how you doing? Let me tell you, the blessing is waking up in the morning. Everything after that is a bonus. As long as he wake me and mine up, and I know we all here and we all gonna be together, I'm glad. Now, whatever you do after that, Lord, I thank you for it, but that's extra.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, all right, girl. We're trying to wrap this up. Thank you for joining me on this Friday afternoon. Be safe. Keep your mask on. You're like me. I double mask everywhere I go.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me. It ain't took me this. It ain't got me in this long. I'm gonna stay my butt in my house and my mask when I do go out, and we're gonna keep it like that.
Yes. So be safe. I hope you enjoy your weekend. It was good seeing you too. It was good seeing you too.
Yeah, I'll be still catching little Sunday.
I know I missed last Sunday, but I'm back this Sunday. Last weekend was a mess, but I'm back this week. So we'll have some fun and join in.
I will. All right, babe. I'm just glad to see you smiling.
Good to see you too. All right. You too. Be safe. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, y'all. Be sure to like this video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. This is Scared of Beautiful. I am Plez. Today, our topic was make social media. Don't let social media make you, honey. Don't let it make you. And like I said, although this is what I like to call the Diamond Hoe quote from Players Club, that can apply to anything, you all. Don't make your career, don't let it make you. Make your sorority or your fraternity, don't let it make you. Make your marriage, don't let it make you. But this particular video is about social media and learning how to enjoy social media, but not let it run you, your mind, your world, and change your world to these really unrealistic points in life, right? Like I said, I'm a nerd. The M.A.K.E acronym is manage, align, and knit your environment. So manage your social media with your tools, align your social media to come into an agreement with the things and the positive things that you want and can see in your life. Knit your social media together, make it united, put a little bit of your sophisticated ratchet side in there, your righteous and ratchet side. Shout out to Demetria Lucas, who is another dope Black woman that I follow, and cultivate the environment for yourself on social media to make it what you want it to be. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all for supporting me. If you left a super chat and I wasn't able to put it up, please charge it to my head, not my heart. I think I read at least everyone that I got. Thank you all for supporting the channel. If you're new here, please share the channel with other people who you think may enjoy the content. I will be back tomorrow at about 3 p.m. to talk about this last Wednesday's episode of Married at First Sight. And I will be here on Sunday with the Grab Bag, which is where we talk about any hot topics that I saw throughout the week that I may want to talk about. And more specifically, I cover the reality shows that you all want my opinion on. And I give you timestamps because I don't have the time, unfortunately, guys, to make a bunch of different videos. But I do try to timestamp it because I know everybody doesn't want to sit through a 2 or 3 hour video. You may just want to hear about Love and Marriage Huntsville or not Married at First Sight. Real Housewives of Potomac, Family or Fiance, Raising Canaan, whatever that is. So I try to make the videos the way you like them. Thank you all for the suggestions. I will really think about doing the Plez videos a couple of times a month. I'll set up probably in my stories on Instagram a place where you all can leave questions, and I'll compile some questions and answer them. All right. So again, I thank you all so much for your love and your support. My beauties and bows for rocking with me here at Scared of Beautiful. Thank you to my moderators for joining me on this Friday evening. Y'all, it's Friday. Get you a good drink. Get you a nice meal. Do whatever you do to unwind and let your hair down for the week. I personally have found out that they have Fast and Furious 9 on Amazon Prime. So I saved that for tonight. I'm going to be watching some Fast and Furious and eating a little popcorn. I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I hope you all have fun and do whatever you need to do to take care of you. All right. I love y'all. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you can join me. Talk to you later. Bye.